YAHAWAH. Sound like I'm live. All right. So there's going to be a retry of this live stream. I will give all honor, glory, and praises to Yahawah, BAHASHAM, BAHASHAM, QADASH. Double honors to the elders and apostle, great minister, for teaching me this truth and sincerity. Salutation to the hopeful elect that spread out the four corners of the earth. All right. So the title of this live would be "The Old Glory is Losing Its Luster and Slowly Crumbling." Old Glory is losing its luster and slowly crumbling. All right, so if you know what I mean by old glory, then I'm talking about the Babylon, the great, USA, which is known as Old Glory. The flag is known as Old Glory, and there's a lot of things happening regarding America, right? You have, Fed now system being introduced. There's been a lot of mass shootings around America, right? Mass murderers around America, right? Um, the debt ceiling has been raised. There's a lot of things going on around the whole world, and particularly in America as well. Um, and actually, I have a lot. I have clips and articles lined up that I'm going to show you. Um, if you, but I have here a meaning of losing its luster. Right, so I can just making sure that the screen doing all right. So, which means lacking in shin, brilliance, or fertility. So when we go to our brilliance, fertility, which also means dull and mediocre, which mediocre mean only moderate quality, not very good, right? Dull, you got the word dull, lack of interest or excitement. Relativity, the state of being storing active energy. So lacking in shin. So this I'm gonna read a precept before I show any videos. So America is losing its its sweetness, right? Um, it's losing its luster. It's losing its manipulation over the people, right? Because there's a lot of Israelites that's waking up. There's a lot of non-Israelites and people waking up, right? And they're seeing how this country is crumbling, right? I have here Revelation chapter 14, verse 8, and reads, "And there followed another angel saying, Babylon is fallen, that great city, because she made all nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication." Right? And that Babylon is talking about America, right? Which is known as spiritual Sodom and Gomorrah, right? There's a lot of nation in bed with Babylon, right? And they drink of the wine, right? They drink of, they push the laws of Babylon, right? And some of the nations are, you know, they're sinning, they're regretting, they're turning back, right? But I'm gonna read mine. I got a few points I'm gonna make with some precepts. All right, so I have here by GMS Sons ago, which he did a short called American History. I'm not going to take a look at it. All right, I hope this is edifying.
What used to be a prosperous city of Philadelphia is now a place which reminds of such magnificent cities as Kabul or Russia in the 90s.
So America is, becoming a third world country, right? Slowly becoming a third world country. America care about, giving or funding, billions of dollars towards the Ukraine war, the Ukraine Russia war, right? Rather than, funding money to help its own people, right? And you seeing it right now, right? This is what the American government think of its people, right? And how they treat its people, right? Because America has the money to fund it, to help these homeless people, help these drug addicts, right? I'm gonna play it.
But America has its own cultural reference, which are Batman's Gotham City and Sin City. San Francisco and San Diego are pretty much the same as Philly. Now,
You get this.
let's hope that officials finally realize the scale of the problem. What used to be a prosperous city of Philadelphia is now.
All right, so you get the point, right? There's there's just a lot of people that, if ultimately that's a spirit, right? There's demonic spirit on the people, right? But it just show you what state that the American people are in, right? In the state that the state, the mindset. These people are not. These people, they're gonna be a lot of this, right? They're gonna be a lot of people like this, like that. That's shown in that video. They're gonna be a lot of people, you know, that's gonna is gonna look like that, gonna act like that, right? This is Revelation chapter 18, verse 2, and it reads, "And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, has become the habitation of devils, and the holder of every foul spirit, and the cage of every unclean and hateful bird." Right? So, in that clip, you can see that happening. Like, those people are filled with all types of foul spirits, right? You know, and it's just a prelude of how it's really going to be when America get destroyed by ICBMs, right? This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 13, verse 19. In Babylon, the glory, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldeans, excellent shall be as when the Most High overthrows Sodom and Gomorrah, right? So America is living deliciously, right? They're living excellence, but it's how Sodom and Gomorrah, right, was. There was doing all manner of sin, right? There was not they're not Sodom and Gomorrah. They were not you know they were not following YAHAWASHI laws, So, but yeah, the beauty of the Chaldeans of excellence represent America, right? So, it's just gonna be like Sodom and Gomorrah. That's why Americans know as Sodom and Gomorrah, because they carry the same attitude, the same persona, the same, mindset of Sodom and Gomorrah, right? But pushing it sodomy, right? It's happy, laws, right? They have one more precept for part for point one. Isaiah chapter 19, verse 14. YAHAWASHI has mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every word thereof, as a drunken man staggered in his vomit. And that's a prime example. There's a perverse spirit amongst the people, right? And you know, and in whole, there's a perverse spirit amongst um, the lawmakers, right? You know, they're not pushing these things. So YAHAWASHI, they're drunk, right? All right, then I have another, which is going to the the different thing. There's been like let me scroll down. There have been 340 mass murders and mass killings in the USA. 2023. This is 2023, in the years of 23, that has been a total 340, and we're not even in the month. We're not even in fall. Fall, and there's been 52 shootings in January, February 43, March 40, April 53, May 64, and June 68 shootings. And they're just showing how they're gonna be more dealt. They're gonna be more of this. Coming. All right. Then here, I'm gonna link all. I'm gonna link all of these articles in the description box if you want to go to check it out. Actually, I'll put this one in the comment board. So if you guys want to, if you all can, Aqua want to go check these out, I have it here in the comment board, the video. But this article right here, go have a actually link where you can have a view source where you can actually view like the details of the shootings. Right, but you can see how you know there's a lot of judgment coming from YAHAWASHI on this place, right? Because this place, they Babylon worship a lot of false gods, right? They do a lot of evil things, right? It's just one that the spirits on the people are cold, right? This in Book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 12, because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold, right? And you're seeing that now with these shootings, right? And especially in France, what's happening right now, you know, there's um there's riots going on, right? There's people who's uh, there's there's riots going on in France, right? And people not regarding their kings and princes, right? And they're you know France is almost in a state of anarchy, right? This is Second Ezra chapter 15, verse 16. And it reads, "For there shall be sedition among men in invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, in the courses of their actions shall stand in their power." Right. And like I mentioned, the French riots, the people are just going anarchy, right? On that place, and they're gonna be more of this in America, right? They're like you see this, right? It's not even July, right? Not July, but actually I believe actually there should be like 343 because there was another mass shooting in Philadelphia. Um, so technically that should be the 43 or 41, but um, it's not, we're not even in the fall and you have all these mass shootings that have occurred, you know, and this path of 2023. But more of this is gonna come, so you have to make sure you been prayed up and make sure YAHAWASHI, you gotta pray for mercy, right? That you won't be caught up in this madness. 15 verse, actually 16, 17. A man should desire to go into a city and should not be able to, because because really what they trying to do, they trying to, some of this can be staged, some of this could be staged, but really, they trying to, America trying to declare martial law because they're trying to declare martial law and trying to get the gun under control, right? The gun violence under control. But when America declare martial law, no one will be able to go like to and from cities, you know, and won't be able to like go to the nearest city or the nearest state, right? 18 verse, for because of the pride, the cities shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and many shall be afraid. 19 verse, a man should have no pity upon his neighbor, right? And we can see that now, those shootings, right? No one is regarding, their friends, that no one don't care, you know, just, you can see, I don't know how to put it in better words, you can see it here, you know, total number wounded 205, total number wounded 160, 110, 242, total number dead 87, 54, 55. You can see it there. But should destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of lack of bread and for great tribulation. Right? And that's, going to, when World 3 break loose, when MOT has been implemented. But you can see some of that now, right? All right, I'm gonna bring uh, Micah second chapter, Michael second chapter verse 10, and it reads, "Arise ye and depart, for this is not your resting place, because it is polluted; it shall destroy you, even with a sword destruction." Right. So when you're in this truth, you can't be caught up in this world. You can be caught up in the things of this world. You cannot meet this your resting place. You cannot try. Don't try to build in this place because it's just going to destroy you. And how this place is going right now, you don't want to do. You don't want to be successful in this country or in this world in general. Um, because this world will destroy you mentally, spiritually, and physically. So don't make this your resting place, right? Right. And then you have a lot of countries. The third point. There's a lot of countries um, dropping the U.S. dollars, right, worldwide. It's known as the de-dollarization in China, Russia, Brazil, and the Asian, right? And there's another article, geopolitical, economic. I'm not gonna read it all, but I'm gonna link it in the comment board of this live. If you want to go check it out. All right, but I'm gonna read a few. I'm gonna read some. Let's start here. The global de-dollarization campaign is gaining momentum as countries around the world seek alternates to the hegemony of the U.S. dollar. China, Russia, Brazil, India, Asian nations, Kenya, Saudi Arabia, and the UAE are now using local currency in trade. And this will publish the 6th for 2023. So you have a lot of countries, that's dumping the US dollar because they see that the value is decreasing ultimately, right? So you have a Russia talking about trading with China. You have China and Brazil trading in local currency. Then you have the countries in Southeast Asia are also de-dollarizing. So you know, Malaysia is publicly advocating de-dollarization. All right. So you can see here that a lot of these countries are, they're straying from um, the U.S. dollar because they see that, it's losing its luster, is, losing its value. All right. Fuck you, bear with me. All right. So I'm gonna preset fuck him. So I have a preset here. I was just making sure that was the right preset. I want it. So this is Obadiah chapter 1 verse 7. It reads, all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. That they eat thy bread, which represent the money, right? How laid a one under thee, that there's no understanding. So the bread represent the money, right? Yeah, I'm gonna get it in another translation as well. Right. So I have here bread, corn, food, grain, but it can also mean money, right? Um, well, that's not what I wanted. So we have here in the NLT, all your allies will turn against you, which represent, American allies. And, the one that use American money, right? They will help to chase you from your land. They will promise you peace while plotting to deceive and destroy you. Your trusted friend will set traps of you, and you won't even know it. So all these countries that you know use American dollars, right? You have going back up here, all these Russia, China, Brazil, India, Asian nation, Kenya, Saudi Arabia, all these, well, except for Russia, but mainly China, Brazil, India, Asian nation, Kenya, Saudi Arabia are all trusted friends of um, America, right? Of the Babylon the Great, and they're straying from the U.S. dollars, right? They're on a de-dollarization campaign, right? And and really, and that trusted friend can also be going back to the allies, right, of NATO, right, the allies of US, right, and NIV, right, the NIV, and it reads all your allies will force you to the border. Your friends will deceive and overpower you. Those who eat your bread, will set trap for you, but you not to detect it, right? So, bread will sure represent money, and then they will um they will basically which going back into the ICBMs, right? Revelation chapter Revelation chapter 17 verse 6. Revelation chapter 17 verse 6 and reads, and I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saint and with the blood of the martyr of YAHAWASHI. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration. That's one. Hold on. I think I have the wrong one. But that's basically going to the martyrs, right, for the truth. But that's not what I wanted. 17:16 is what I wanted. I wrote down the wrong piece up. So this is Revelation chapter 17 verse 16 reads, and the 10 horns which thou sayest upon the beast, these shall eat the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. All right, so which represent you know NATO, right? So they will they will burn her with fire in their ICBMs, right? And basically, which can, like I said, go back to the one that did like America, right? That did trust America, right? They gonna you know take part in the destruction, right, of the USA. All right, and you know, while a lot of countries, even USA, you have them introducing a Fed now, right, system, right. Here's an article, the Daily Hoda, which is titled J.P. Morgan, Chase, and 40 other U.S. banks conducting a Fed now trial runners ahead of the instant payment service launch, which was made July 1st, 2023. So here, out here, so this is from um, King Montgomery, first Vice President of the Federal Reserve Bank of Boston and Fed Now Program Executive. He said, we are on the track of the Fed Now service launch. They strong cohort of financial institutions and service providers of all sizes in the process of completing the final round of readiness testing. With the goal live in their financial institution and their industry partners should be confident in moving forward with plans to join the network of organizations participating in the FedNow service. All right. So the Federal Reserve says it plans to increase the Fed now, the numbers of banks using Fed now this year and in years to come until all 10,000 have adopted the technology. So which ultimately gonna lead to the MLTV, right? There's like a test trial, right, of the MLTV. All right, now we'll get Revelation 12 and 12. Revelation chapter 12, verse 12, and reads, Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down to have a great wrath, because he knows that he has a short time. Perhaps, no, he knows that his kingdom is crumbling, right? He knows that the kingdom is crumbling, so he's trying to introduce this, trying to put this new currency in your face, right, for you can accept it, right? Then eventually, if you accept this, you're gonna accept the um, MLTB, right? Which is gonna be the ultimately test, right? The ultimately thing, right? They're gonna catch many people off guard, right? This is Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 6. Habakkuk chapter 2. Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a tainting proverb against him, and say, Woe to them that increases that which is not his? How long? And to him that lay himself with dead clay. So right, dead clay, which represent the depths of America, right? America, which going back to it's like America lay itself in like depth. I think America is the top debt in the world, I believe. But ultimately, America gonna lead into a recession, right? That clay represent, heavy debts, way of pledges, that what America do, you know, and that's why they raising the debt ceiling into 2025, right? Let me see if I can get that into another translation. And actually, but soon their captives will taunt them, they will mock them, saying, What sorrow awaits you, thieves? Now you will get what you deserve. You become rich by extortion. But how much longer can this go on? Right. So America has become rich by extortion. Right. Uh, right. So that's what America does, right? They like to go to other countries, right? They like to have their foot in other country business. Right, that's what America does, right? That's what America does, right? Fuck it. They won't stop, right? They won't stop. America won't stop. They're gonna ultimately lead to its demise. It's gonna lead to its demise, and right now it's the Fourth of July, right? Revelation chapter 13, verse 16. And he causes all both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond to receive a mark in their right hand and on their forehead. So a mark is the Michael C. chip, right? The RFID chip. 17 verses that no man might buy or sell, save he that has a mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. 18 verse, here's wisdom, let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, or is the number of a man, his number is 603 scores and six. Right, so you know, if you're watching this video, and this is your warning not to, take that Michael C. Hill, not to take that RFID, and pray, for mercy and understanding. Right, and I have another article right here, and that and it just basically, President Biden uses a CPAP machine. I don't know what that is. A continuous positive airway pressure, so which help him sleep for sleep apnea. So no, it just shows how there's you know the one that rules this country, right, and they make the decision on this country, right. Got he's in a bad health, right, and bad mental state, right. And really it's just Yahweh putting that on him, right, putting that all that plagueness on him, right. Right, and I have another article which is here 10 signs America is heading to a certain collapse, right. And this was made in 2021, but we're gonna see if I can. There's some things in here that relates to now, right. I have here wealth inequality. So, which talks about how um, America, America, which talks about how there's a lot of so I guess there's a lot of people who like the top rooters. We're going into the top rooters, right? Trying to find the word. We're just going to the top rooters that control America, right? And it's and the riches they have debt, right? Which again going back to Revelation, Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 6, right? America has nearly, it was back in 2021, America has nearly 29 trillion in federal debt. Total consumer debt sits at 14.9 trillion. Half a million American families are systematically forced into bankruptcy every year. So, uh, reason three, economic instability. Reason four, home ownership in crisis. Reason five, crony corporate politics, right? And there's a lot of, people in the judicial system, mainly lawmakers, some of them are accused of like crime relating to child X crimes and stuff like that. If you can read between the words, child X crimes, reading between the words. environment, reason six, environmental instability, instability, mass hysteria. Reason eight, non-screen addiction. 10, individualism. So, you know, he lived deliciously, right? But the people in this country, they live deliciously, and they say who can take them down, right? Because they American people, they haven't been, they're not they're not in trouble. Mostly, they're not in trouble like other countries, right? They're not in a bad, you know, state, going like they're not in a bad state. And what I mean by that is like food wise, clothing wise, health wise, hygiene wise, they can, they're not in trouble like other countries. This is book Isaiah chapter 47. Isaiah chapter 47, verse 8, and it reads, therefore, hear now these that are given to pleasures, that dwelleth carelessly, that says in thy heart, I am, and none else beside me. I should not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children, right? Um, and I'm gonna bring out Sirach to back that up. Sirach chapter 10, verse 16. Sirach chapter 10, verse 16. YAHAWASHI shall overthrow countries of the heathen and destroy them to the foundation of the earth. This is the right one. Ecclesiastes. No, this is Ecclesiastes. Actually, I'm getting I wrote down Sirach. Ecclesiastes is chapter 10, verse 16. It reads, woe to thee, O land, when that king is a child and a prince 8 in the morning, right? Which is going to, that the men, women, children of this country, they eat deliciously, right? They overfill, that's why you have a lot of obese Americans, right? And, they eat in the morning, right? In which you're supposed to be, fasting, but they eat in the morning, right? They over, they over, they over, you know, adults, right? And naturally, it's like, yeah. All right, so actually, all right, Revelation 18, chapter verse 7, and it reads, So I can bear with me. Uh, Revelation 18th chapter, verse 7, but how much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her, for she hath in her heart, I said, a queen and I'm a widow and shall see no sorrow. Right, so the American people live deliciously, right, which is, you know, going back to the elites of Esau, but also the people, right, they live deliciously, they're not trouble, right? And, in the USA, you can go to a grocery store and you can get whatever you want, right? You live deliciously. You're not like a third world country. All right, so like uh, Galatians 18, chapter 7. And I teach you glorify yourself and live in luxury. So much that she now with torment and sorrow. She boasted in her heart, I'm a queen on my throne. I'm no helpless widow, and I have no reason to mourn. Right. So America is, they're in a state of um, they're in a state of, living pleasantly. Oh, I'm missing something. So I have here another article I wanted to make mention of how the U.S. military is struggling to recruit to its branches 2023. So and mainly going to I had a post by the New York Times, but actually that one it. But yeah, here what you need to know: more branches are expected recruiting shortfalls for a fiscal year 2023, which ends September 30, 2023. So ultimately, yeah, people do not want to fight for this country, right? Because they see that what state it is in and how you know. And this article was posted on July 4th, 2023. So this is recent. Actually, this is today that it was posted. So no, this article is not. This article was posted on April 26th, 2023. So you can see that um, American Army is failing to recruit people into the military, and ultimately those ones that is coming across the border probably is going to end up recruiting. You know, Jeremiah chapter 49 verse 10 reads, "But I have made Esau bare, I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed exploiting his brethren, his neighbor, and he is not." Right. So the sins of America is being shown. You know, that there's you know and this can be like a when it's like I got a precept I want to get. When your enemy and you see that your biggest enemy is slowly crumbling and failing to recruit, it's a sign that that is getting that they won't have much power, right, to fight anymore. It's the book Isaiah chapter 47 verse 3. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered. Yeah, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance and I would not meet against men. Right. So again, America is the sins and wickedness of America is being revealed, and Yahawah is not coming back to save this place, right? He's coming back he's coming back to make war with this place, right? So ultimately, America won't be able. They have their space force, right? But ultimately, their space force won't be able to take down the armies of Yahweh Shah, which are in the the chariots, right? And and it's funny because America national bird is the eagle, right? It is the book of Obadiah, chapter 1, verse 4, and it reads, "Thou, though they exalt themselves as the eagle, and though thou sit thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down," says Yahweh Shah. So America exalt themselves as the bird, right? They say who should bring them down, right? But you can see that American military, they won't be able to fight Yahweh Shah because mainly the reason because even the American people see that it's not worth it's not worth fighting for this country, right? It's not worth, you know, putting lacing up boots, and firing weapons, right, for this country, right? Because and actually, um, America doesn't, um, America doesn't even care for the veterans, right? There's a lot of vets that get out of the military, they go through all types of, traumatizing events during the time serving the country, right? And there's a scripture that talks about, how you're supposed to, care for those vets, right? Those veterans that serve the country, and America doesn't care for veterans, you might have one or two veteran vets that might be in a good living or a good living, you know, that's been taken care of. But mainly, you have some vets that either go homeless, right, or can't find a job when they get out of the military, right? So is that why some people are not even worth of going, you know, fighting in the military, right? Then this last article that I want to bring out, which is a malaria outbreak. Now, there have been cases of pestilence. This article published June 27, 2023. There were cases of malaria transmission. Um, 5 people, Florida was the one in Texas that acquired malaria in the United States in recent months. So there's been a major malaria outbreak. Right, I'm gonna link this article as well in the description. In the comment of the live. So, um, just showing the pestilence. God by Sean Child, they're gonna play, and they're gonna be more of this, more pestilence coming. All right, and they're gonna play, this country. Revelation 18, chapter 18, verse 18. And it reads, and cry when they saw these smoke, because they burning, saying, what city is like unto this great city? Which you're going back to, burning, which you're going back to America being destroyed by ICBMs, 19 verse. And they cast dust on their heads and cried, weeping and wailing, saying, alas, alas, the great city, where made rich all that had ships in the sea, by reason of her constantly for 1 hour is she made desolate. So in 1 hour, this place is going to be brought to naught, right? This place will be destroyed in 1 hour, right? They're going to have a lot of nations made America rich, right? And you read the 17th verse, it reads, for in 1 hour so great riches is come to naught, and every shipmaster and all company ships and sailors, as many as the trade by the sea, stood far off. So in many countries that trade with the U.S., they're going to like amazed at seeing their great hoard being brought to desolate, right? Being destroyed, right? Jeremiah chapter 49, verse 14, it reads, I have heard a rumor from YAHAWASHI, and an ambassador is sent unto the heathen, saying, gather ye together and come against her and rise up in battle. So that's going back to, um, that's going back to the battle of World War II, right? And going back to want to make war right with the America. they're gonna be a country. They're gonna set off World War III. You know, and ultimately America gonna get involved, right? Yeah. Jeremiah chapter 50 verse 13. Jeremiah chapter 50 verse 13. Because of the RAWCHAA of YAHAWASHI should not be inhabited, but it should be wholly desolate. Everyone that goes by Babylon should be astonished in his or her place, right? So, they're the pledge, which refer to the the ICBMs. You can go back, refer to the pledge of famine, the actually pestilence. You know, everyone gonna be astonished to see um, how America has been destroyed, right? Because you have to think about how many people when you exalt yourself and you have other nations calling you the greatest nation of this modern day era. They gonna you're gonna have in your mind that this nation is never gonna be destroyed, but clearly prophesy that the nation will be brought down by you know by brought down by Yahweh Shah, right? And I'm gonna end it with Second Maccabees the 8, chapter 8, verse 18. Uh, and it reads, "For they say he trusts in their weapons and boldness, but our confidence is in the Almighty Yahweh Shah, who at a beck he can cast down both them that come against us and also all the world." So, which ultimately, he thought he's gonna be like a, going. He's gonna be like a madman, right? He's sparing none, right? He's gonna be like a madman, which is why he pushing these draconian laws, right? Giving these, people rights, right? But he's prepping for the big one. He's prepping because his kingdom is about to fall, so he's prepping. And there's no way you can build this country back up, right? You won't be able to complete that whole puzzle piece again, right? Once this country, the way this country is heading, you can turn around. So, but the elect will be spared from those days, right? As long as the elect keeping the word and patience of Yahweh Shashai, which they will, and they will be spared for those times to come, right? All right, but I'm going to end this live lesson here. I'll give all honor and glory and praises to Yahweh Bashem El Shah, Bashem Rakakadash, brother Kakam Rukah. Till next time, we'll say Shalom.